Dear viewers, as part of Investor Educating Playlist series of videos, in today's video we will understand about candlestick chart. Many of you during your stock market stock price analysis would have seen a particular type of chart called candlestick chart. So how does a candlestick chart get constructed and how does a candlestick chart need to be interpreted? That's what we're going to understand in today's video. Let us get into the video. As I was explaining in the introduction, many of you during your stock market analysis, stock price analysis, decision to buy or decision to sell would have gone through a particular type of chart called candlestick chart. Now, what is a candlestick chart all about? How does it get constructed and how it need to be interpreted is what we are going to see in this video. So even before we get into how does a candlestick chart get constructed, so let's see how does a candlestick chart look like. So I will take you to National Stock Exchange portal. So here is the NSE website. So in this NSE website, I have already searched for Tata Consultancy Services. So here is the stock price, opening price, closing price. And here if I click on this particular icon, it opens a new window and that new window will take me to the graphs that I can plot. So here there are multiple methods of graph that we can plot. So there is a bar graph, there is a line graph. If I choose, I can get a line graph, but I also have an option called candlestick chart. So when I select candlestick chart and when I zoom in and try to keep my number of days or number of trading sessions that I want to look at, I can zoom in and I can have this kind of a view, and this view shows me a variety of candlestick chart. For example, if you see here, there's a long candlestick chart red color, there is also a long candlestick chart green color. There are candlestick images where you don't even see a candle, it's a straight line and there is a body is very thin and then you have a long shadow. So like this, you see here, this is red color and this is green color. Now what does this red and green color means? What does a long body means? What does a thin body with long shadow means? That's what we are going to understand in today's video. So let me take you back to the PowerPoint presentation where we are explaining, or we will see how this chart get constructed. So to make understanding of how does this chart get constructed, I have taken 5 stocks, namely A, B, C, D, E, F, actually 6 stocks. For each of this I have taken the opening price, I have also taken the closing price, and I also taken the day high and day low. A candlestick chart can be drawn for 1 hour, 1 day, so that will be called as the time period. So here the candlestick chart that we are going to draw is for 1 day. So what is the opening price for the day, what is the closing price for the day, what is a day low, and what is a day high? These are the data points that I have taken. Now if we take stock A, so in stock A, the opening price is 132 rupees. So I draw a line at 132, which is the opening price, and I plot a dot for a reference. And the closing price for the day is 138 rupees. So again, I draw a straight line and I keep a dot here. And this is where the stock closed for the day. Once I plot the opening price and closing price, what we need to understand here is the opening price is 132 rupees. However, the stock closed above its opening price at 138. Hence, I connect to these two dots with a candle, or what we call it as the body of the candlestick chart, but the color will be green. Why the color is green? Because the closing price is higher than the opening price. Okay. So when the stock closes at 138 rupees, does it mean for the entire day this 138 was the highest price? No, somewhere in between the day, the stock would have gone much above that, but then settled at 138 towards the close. So what is the high for the day? The stock had a highest price of 140. So what I do, I again keep a dot at 140. That is the highest price for the day. And what is the lowest price for the day? Even though the stock opened at 132, at some point of the time in the day, the stock has gone up to 130. So that is the lowest point. So hence I keep a dot. Now I connect to my highest point with the closing price with a straight line. And similarly, I connect to my opening price with the lowest point with a straight line. And as a result, I get a candlestick chart. So as I told, the candle, or in other words, the body of the chart is the gap between the opening price and closing price. And then the wick or the shadow is nothing but the straight line which is drawn from the opening price to the highest price or closing price to the highest price. Both the scenarios can happen, which I will explain in the subsequent scenarios. So this is how a candlestick chart get constructed. So if a candle or the body looks very thin, what does it mean? The stock opened at a price and closed at a price, and there is no big difference between the opening and closing price, right? If you get a shadow or if you don't get a shadow, what is the meaning? Let's see that also. So now this is the basic structure of a candlestick chart. Now we will see some of the scenarios that we can get while drawing a candlestick chart. Now we will go to stock B. So in stock B, the opening price is 138 rupees. So I keep a dot at 138, whereas the closing price is 128 rupees. So what happens in this scenario? The stock opened at 138. However, the stock closed at 128. The closing price is smaller than the opening price. So what happened? The stock is under pressure of selling. People were not buying it, instead people were selling it. Hence the candle will be represented in a red color, right? So the red color indicates that there is a lot of selling pressure, hence the stock closed lower than its opening price. Okay, as we see this, now we need to plot the day high as well as the day low. So here if you see for the stock, the day high was somewhere at 140 rupees and the day low is somewhere at 126 rupees. So this kind of a chart indicates there is weakness because there is too much pressure on people selling this stock. So as a result, you see a long candle and the distance between the opening price and the closing price is quite significant. So there is a pressure of people selling this stock, and that's what we call it as a stock which indicates negative in terms of the pressure. So that's why it is represented in red color. So each of this shape have a name, like you call different types of name, which we will be discussing in our upcoming videos. Today's video is only to give you an understanding of how a candlestick chart is getting constructed and how we need to interpret a candlestick chart. So now we will go to the third stock, which is stock C, and here the opening price is 130 and the closing price is 138. Again, the closing price is higher than the opening price, hence it will be a green color candle. However, if you see, the stock's highest price is also 138. So because the stock's highest price is also 138, you will not find a shadow or wick on the higher side. Why? Because the stock closing price and the highest price both are same. So what does it mean? As the day reaches the close, there are more and more people willing to buy for it. Hence the stock has seen the lowest, hence the stock has seen closing price and highest price being the same. And similarly, when the stock opened, after that the stock has never dropped below its opening price. The lowest price is also 130 rupees, which is the opening price. Hence, there is no shadow on both higher side as well as on the lower side. So what does it mean? That means when the stock opened at 130 rupees, from the time till the stock closed at 138 rupees, the stock has never gone below its opening price, and the stock closing price and the higher price are both same. So continuously people were showing interest to buy this stock. So the stock moved from 130 to 138 rupees. So this is what you understand it as a strong bullish trend, where you see the previous one, which is red color, is a strong bearish trend, and here you see a strong bullish trend. Okay, now we will move to stock D. So what happens in stock D? In stock D, the stock opens with 132 rupees as the opening price, and the stock closes at 128 as the closing price. And what we need to understand here, the stock has closed below its opening price, hence the candle will be red in color. Okay, but what is the stock's lowest price for the day? The stock's lowest price for the day is 126 rupees. And what is the stock's highest price for the day? The stock's highest price is 132. So what will happen? On the higher side, you will not see a wick or a shadow, but definitely on the lower side, you will see a wick or a shadow. So this indicates a symbol similar to a hammer, but we will see about these symbols or these patterns later. But as of now, let's understand why you had a extended shadow or a wick on the lower side, why you did not have a extended shadow or wick on the higher side. The reason is the stock's high, which is 132, is also the opening price 132, whereas on the stock closing price is 128, but the stock's lowest point of the day is 126, hence there is a extended wick or a shadow. Now we will move on to the fifth stock. So here the opening price of the stock is 138, the closing price of the stock is 132, so definitely a negative trend, hence a red color candle. However, the stock's lowest point is 132 and the stock's highest point is 142. The closing price and the lowest price are both one and the same, hence you will not find a shadow on the bottom side. However, you will find a shadow on the top side. So this is opposite to what we have seen in stock price D, right? That's why you have an extended shadow on the higher side, but you do not have an extended shadow on the lower side. And finally, if you see stock F, the stock opened at 134 rupees. The stock also closed at 134 rupees. So from the morning till the evening, there were fluctuation. However, the stock closed at where it started. So hence there will not be a candle. There will only be a straight line because your opening price and closing price are both one and the same. However, during the day, the stock has reached the highest price of 138 and the stock has reached the lowest price of 130. So even though the stock has fluctuated, the stock has opened at 134 and also closed at 134. Hence, you will not find a candle here. So friends, I hope this video was useful for you to understand how a candlestick chart get constructed and how we need to interpret the different types of pattern that you get in the candlestick chart. So in our upcoming videos about candlestick, I will be explaining you about how each of this candlestick pattern need to be understood. Based on the pattern, what is your decision? Should you buy? Should you sell? Should you hold that stock? Similarly, how do you see a trend with multiple candlesticks for the same chart for the 2 or 3 trading sessions? So how the trend need to be analyzed, how a reversal trend need to be analyzed, all these things we will understand step by step as we move into this particular series of candlestick chart videos. So I request you to kindly subscribe our channel to continuously understand investor education related videos. I hope this video was useful for you. For more videos related to investor education as well as more technical and fundamental analysis and brokerage recommendations, I request you to kindly subscribe our channel. Thank you for your time.